Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to use the ground in karate. So, you may have heard or may not have heard about using the ground. It's a pretty hard concept to grasp, and it might take some time for you to actually know how to use the ground. But basically, you gotta know that you gotta just press into the ground and kind of almost absorb um, the ground's force, the gravity. Use the gravity to your advantage to help you make quicker and more powerful moves. So I'm going to talk more about this stuff later. So yeah, let's get started. So now I'm going to be talking about how to use the ground, how to use the gravity in karate. So basically, so back stance, front stance, and horse riding stance, they all have to use the ground, the gravity, in some sort of way. So let's start with the back stance. So let's say you're just in standing position, like a yoi, right? And like hand katas, hand sanan, hand nidan, those kind of katas. It starts with a back stance. And so what you want to do to correctly make this back stance on that move is to press your hips into the ground, and then as a consequence, your leg will be pushed outward. So the leg that is not going out should press into the ground, and your hips should press into the down, and then this foot goes out. It's pressed out, and so basically, you should kind of go in a downward down first, and then to the side. So you should go down and to the side. And for the front stance, you want to basically do the same thing, down and then front. And for front stance, to make sure that you're doing this especially sharp, so you're going down, right? But know that in a front stance, your back leg should be popped straight. So what you want to do is straighten the back leg as quick as you can, so that your front stance is landed quickly. And then also make sure that the back leg is still, of course, pressed into the ground, and your hips is going down as you make your stance. And then same thing with horse riding stance. So basically, you want to press down on the rooted leg, press down, put your hips down, and slide this, and it should again be down and then to the side. And so now I'm going to demonstrate these three stances from the yoi position, making it into those things. And so basically, now that's only when you're in your standing position and then you're making your stance. Of course, you're moving in your stances as well. You're moving back stance forward when you're making your knife hands, or front stance forward when you're making your punches, or even moving forward with horse riding stances in some advanced Shotokan katas. So starting with the back stance, basically, when you're moving forward, you want to pull with the front leg. You want to shift the weight to the front, and as you do so, make sure just keep the same height, press down, and then when you go forward, then you want to continue moving forward and kind of execute your stance at the last second. But then when you go back, that's where a lot of when you're going back, you want to make sure that you're tugging with this back leg, not with the front leg. You're pulling with the back leg, not pushing with the front leg. If you think that you are pushing with the front leg, then that's wrong. Because if you do that, then you're gonna have the mindset of shifting the weight to the front and then going back. But you don't wanna add another movement. You wanna just go straight back. You don't wanna do that. That's just slower, and also in a sparring or in a fight, you kind of signal to your opponent, hey, I'm going backwards, and then that they could get you at that time. Front stance is basically the same thing. You wanna, so you're in your front stance, and you wanna pull with your front leg. You don't wanna shift back, then push with your back leg. You don't wanna do that. You just wanna pull with your front leg, and so basically then this leg will go forward, and then you can make your stance. And also make sure throughout all of these stances, when you're transitioning, your foot doesn't leave the ground. You want to try to keep it as flat as possible onto the ground. So going forward with the front stance, and then going back with the front stance, basically you're pulling with the back leg, and you don't want to push with the front leg. You want to transfer your weight to the back leg, but you're pulling with the back leg. You don't want to push with your front leg. So you're going back, and then horse riding stance. Make sure that when you're transitioning, same thing, shift your weight to the front, pull the front leg, and then go, and then pull the back leg, go back. And also make sure that you don't scrunch up your toes when you try to plant firmly into the ground. When you want to plant firmly into the ground, you kind of want to use the inside of your feet. So basically, kind of press with those parts of your feet into the ground. So now I'm going to demonstrate those movements. Using the ground is also very useful for your kicks. So when you kick, you need to pick up really quick, whether it's a front kick or a Mawashi kick or a side thrust kick, side snap kick, any kick, even a back kick. You need to use your hips, in the pickup especially. So when you pick up your leg, you're probably told to pick up as fast as you can. Now, that's true, but how do you do it? So you want to pick up your leg quickly by sinking down into the ground. So basically think of slamming a paper cup of water onto a table, right? Now, the cup goes down, but as soon as it makes contact with the table, the water inside that cup kind of bounces up. And so that's using the force down, the water takes that force to go up. Same thing here. So if you press your hips down into the ground, your leg will go up quickly, even more quickly. So you don't want to just use your knee. No, your pickup leg should be a consequence of you sinking into the ground with your hips. You don't want to just use your knee to pick up. And also, when you pick up, you also want to keep the same height. So you do that also by sinking into the ground onto this foot that's planted onto the ground, sink down, and then your height will not change. And then when you make any kick, you want to try to put as much hip into it as possible. So you want to push your hip forward to the target so that you could get more power and more reach with your kick. And then you snap back, and then when you go down, it's like the same thing as like going down into a stance from the void position. That same exact movement, you want to go down and then to the side. So when you kick, you want to go your force, not your height. Your height should always be the same height, but your force should go down and then forward. Your height should stay the same. Your force, your hip got pressed down and try to put like force down and then slide forward. So now I'm going to demonstrate two kicks, the Maegiri kick and the Washigiri kick. So that would be about it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot about using the ground and using gravity. If you guys did, leave a like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to see more karate videos.